I'll let you finish, but don't forget he claims that he's the greatest journalist alive. By the way,
Yeah, that part.
Right. And
And
that's
and
why
I
that's why I
Hold
don't
on.
give
Y'all
him
don't
no.
y'all
Go
don't
ahead.
agree? Y'all don't agree?
With what?
no,
Okay, so who's
no,
the greatest? Who's the greatest hip hop journalist alive right now? If
Oh,
it's not
come
DJ
I'm
on,
not
Academics,
Jay.
gonna.
who is it?
I
Come
will.
on, Jay. We can't. We
No,
not.
no, Zoe. I'm not. Listen, bro. I'm not
I'll
here to do
answer.
that.
I'll
I
answer.
swear.
I'll
Listen, Zoe.
answer.
If you ever think I'm just trying to like do that, just
No,
tell me
no.
like,
I
bro, you
don't.
doing it.
I'm
What
not
makes him great?
saying.
How about that? Let me deflect your question. What makes him great? What makes him great? He
Hold
All
on.
doesn't
right.
break
I'll
down
answer. Let
lyrics.
me answer
He
Jay's
doesn't break
question
down
though.
lyrics. He
I'll tell
doesn't
you what
break
makes
down
him
any
great, but y'all go
music.
ahead.
All
I
he
tell you
all
what.
he talks about is
Hold on.
drama. He's a
Hold on.
TMZ. He's not even a hip hop
Hold on.
journalist.
King.
What's hip
King.
hop
King. Hold
about him?
on. Hold on, bro. Let me answer Jay's question. As far as journalism go, me personally, I don't really care that much. So I'm not gonna act like who I know is or isn't a journalist, right? The only people I know, or at least I'm aware of, is the company man. You can sit and say Joe Budden, but I feel like Joe Budden at least has an idea, given that he used to be a rapper himself. And I mean, I'm aware that Crooked Eye does like, well, King Crooked does like a podcast here and there. But the only reason why I am challenging him saying that he is the greatest journalist alive, keep in mind, he said that he knows pretty much people who talk to these celebrities, Drake, Kendrick, whoever, right? These rappers. However, remember on live, Drake apparently was blocking people. Keep in mind, he asked these motherfuckers, hey, who do you know who runs this page that knows everything? If you're a journalist, you should go look for that answer your damn self. But you can't sit and say that you're the greatest journalist alive and you on stream asking who runs the account.
I agree with you, but at the same time, the only thing that I can say is why I think he's the greatest. If we comparing him to his competition, bro, I don't think anybody that he's competing with when it comes to hip hop journalism is on his level when it comes to information. He's not always right, but if we line it up on a percentage basis, he's not known for just spewing wrong information outside of his opinion. When he says it's a
He
fact, outside of
He,
his opinion, when he says that, this is how I feel, chat, this is how I feel, let me give y'all my whatever, okay, that's cool. He may be dead wrong, but when it comes to when he says this is a fact, I know this is what it is, very rarely is he just like just way left field, bro. And I think Zoe could back me on this, bro. Being able to sit in front of a mic. Joe Budden has co-hosts. Adam 22 has co-hosts. Vlad TV interviews people. Every Nori has co-hosts. Akademiks sits in front of a screen by himself, him and a microphone, and makes it happen for hours. That's like, and it's completely based around hip hop. We ain't talking sports. He ain't talking. It's just, and whether he's reacting to content or whether he's just giving up his opinion on whatever it is, it's like, bro, I can't just knock him on what he does. Does he glaze Drake sometimes a little heavy? Absolutely. But there are content creators that do the same thing for Kendrick. There are sports analysts like Shannon Sharp that do the same thing for people like LeBron. That's just how it goes. But I think that, the people he's competing with, who do you put what he does?
hold on. So I'm gonna argue a point that you made, right? In regards to saying he doesn't put out something that isn't facts and is his opinion. So when it came to Kendrick, this is well after the beef. He was here saying that Kendrick would drop an album by this time, this, that, and the third. This is slightly after Watch the Party Die. That still don't even have a fucking title, right? He said this album will probably come out within this amount of time. He was saying that with his whole chest as fact. No opinion, no nothing. Academics, if he's feeling some fucking type of way, like he did with Kendrick, saying like I'll fucking ruin your album, this, that, and the third. He is saying that shit with his whole fucking chest as a fact. No opinion, no nothing.
Yo, he literally lied and said, yo, Kendrick got an album coming out. Can't wait for it. Yo, run that. What's another lie he said? He said, according to him, knowing that they've been sneak dissing each other for years, said Kendrick is jealous of Drake.
Kendrick admitted that.
When did he admit that?
He said, I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way
Put
you dress.
add the
I'm the
context.
biggest hater.
Add the context. Add the context before that. Add the context.
This
It's
ain't
always
about
been
love
about
and
love
hate.
and hate.
It's always been about love and hate. And let me say, I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way you walk, the way you talk. I hate the way you dress.
Before that, he said, it's never been about who's the greatest. It's always been about love and hate. He's talking about how Drake views things, how he views things. So he said, okay, cool, I'll double down on that.
Okay. Go ahead. My bad.
So another narrative. That guy was running propaganda for 6ix9ine for fucking 3 years. Propaganda, like, yo, like just straight up, like, snitching is great for rap. What he did is right. What he did was right. Yeah. Yo, what type of journalist runs a propaganda for somebody? For two people, Drake and 6ix9ine, unheard of. Then, yo, the guy flip-flops his opinion, yo, like crazy, like you could never hear no consistency. Yo, when Port Antonio came out, he was like, bro, this shit is ass. This sucks. This song fucking sucks. As soon as Drake liked it, oh my God, you Kendrick fans, bro. Y'all hating on the song. Flip-flopping opinions, whatever fits his lingo, right? Whatever fits his lingo. For some reason, it's like on some cases, he's actually like on point, but then on other stories, he's not. And then also, like, this weird narrative that, hey, you gotta go get an interview if you want us to stop making narratives about you, right? Whitney's cousin did an interview with King Curtis. He ignores it. As soon as Kendrick does an interview with SZA, what does he do? You see, he's just not for the culture. The amount of narratives.
That was corny.
The fact that you're making narratives about people online, like just live, and nobody challenges it. But I will say, I think Joe Budden is much better. I think Crooked Eye is much better. I think Drake Champs is much better. Company Man brings a lot of artists in and brings a lot of insight. I think King Curtis brings a lot of insight. Moni is new, but Moni's like actually researches, unlike fat ass Akademiks, actually researches the topic, right? Like, I think Zoe is pretty fair. Akademiks literally goes and rides a narrative. Like, yo, these people could be unbiased, and yo, they might have a little bias, but they don't go about it like Zoe's not a big fan of Drake. If Drake does something right, he'll say he did something right. He's not gonna be like, oh, you see, he's jealous of Kendrick. Like, what is that?
Okay, my thing is when he's on his live and said that he would lie, spin a narrative. He said that if they don't do no interviews, if they don't tell me, I lie. Also, he said on his live talking about round two, round two. And then Kendrick dropped the Super Bowl thing and said no round two. But we knew what the round two was. The round two was a fucking smear campaign. That was their round two. And we're watching it. It's kind of sizzling down since the Dirk stuff, but that was their round two. So Akademiks is a fucking flip-flopper, popping ass. Damn, I can't stand it.
Okay? When I think about journalism, I don't see Akademiks. Like, I feel like journalism has a certain type of respect to it, and I just don't see that with Ak. Honestly, when I see when you mention like Company Man, like I think he embodies like journalism. Like, if you really being real, like the way he presents his stories and the things he talks about, to me, that's journalism. What I see Ak doing really is like rumors, digging up shit, spreading narratives, and just adding whatever you might want to call a comedic aspect to it. You know what I mean?
So basically, E-channel, basically.
He's
E-channel?
a tabloid. He's like the
right.
He's like the Inquirer.
Do y'all? So a good example is. Do y'all feel like Wendy Williams is a journalist?
No,
absolutely.
No,
she did her. No, she did research, and she used to do radio. She used to do radio for hip hop. No, she's really about it. She may have changed up over the years, but
she still say something that people don't like or whatever. But it's like some of the stuff she wouldn't state it as a fact. It would just be her opinion, but people didn't like her opinion because they felt it was mean or whatever. So they, she got a lot of flack for that. But like when she actually did a story, she would research. Like she would still research. It's just most people don't like how she delivered it because she wasn't from the pool.
You know what
she want to ask you.
I got
it. You can answer it or not.
I miss her now that I think about it. I'd rather take her than fat ass Akademiks nigga on everything.
Listen, I got it. He's not a journalist. He's a reporter.
There we go. I like that better. That's so much better. He's not a journalist.
He's a reporter.
Because a reporter can switch anything the way they want to, and there is no repercussions behind it. I'm fine with that.
What does a journalist do that's different than him? Like what is your favorite journalist do that he doesn't do? He does research.
And then put their own opinions, and they're not putting their opinions. Oh no, my bad. They're not stating their opinions as facts and running with a narrative. When you're a journalism, you're supposed to just write what you know and with your research that back up your claims, and that's it. You could give your opinion, but you're not supposed to make your opinion seem like it's facts. You don't say, remember what what's the dirty ass nigga did when he was like, it's a fact, guys. Like clearly his wife was cheating on him. Why would you say that about Kendra's lifestyle like you live in the same household as them? Like you got to make it make sense. When you're doing journalism, you're not supposed to run with it. It's like the same guy who lied on Michael Michael Jackson. He said he was a journalism. When you're lying on people's names, you're no longer a journalism. You're known as a reporter. You can't change that, dog. That's just wrong.
Journalists
no,
are very
Akademiks
careful.
does not do his shit.
Journalists are very careful about the information they put out there. They cross-reference.
And they can get sued.
Yep, they cross-reference their shit. They check their facts and everything. I think Akademiks is an investigative reporter. Yep. That's what he is.
I like that. That nigga's the smart as fuck. I'm so happy I gave him a different name because I didn't think of nothing else about it but an instigator. He said, no, he's a reporter.
Investigative reporters, think about what they do. They go out there, they call people, they try to find out this. They fake like they somebody else to get information on this and this and that. And they come out and they try to be the first ones to report on it. That's all it is.
That sounds good, bro. But if Stephen A. Smith is a sports journalist, if Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp are sports journalists, I'm not talking about Club Shay Shay. Let's just keep him out of it. If Stephen A. Smith alone is the biggest sports journalist in the world right now, outside of Shannon Sharp and Club Shay Shay, if he's the one of the two biggest sports journalists, not sports reporter, sports journalist, who gives his opinion and gives his takes on his own podcast on YouTube, bro, Akademiks is a journalist. Just because he gives his opinions and paints narratives, sports reporters do propaganda before. That's like, bro, if you watch ESPN and SportsCenter, bro, they talk niggas out of their contracts.
Let me just ask Jay this real quick before we lose the where he came off of. Did you not ask us what? I don't know if you did ask the question. Did you ask us what a journalist does or what is considered?
I did ask that specific question. The reason I asked is because I watch sports and I watch Stephen A. Smith, and outside of just talking about the score and the facts about the game, he gives his opinion. This person played good. This person played bad. This person played. He's
right.
He
not to cut you off, but he gives his opinion based on stats. The stats that he's seen from that game. You see how that works?
Yes.
It's like you watch the game, you see how that person played, you correlate it with the stats, how much they scored that game, how many rebounds they had that game, field goal percentage, all that shit. You put all that shit together, and that's how you come up with your overall assessment of how they played. That's what we saying that Act doesn't do. That's what makes him an investigative reporter, because he goes out there, he hears some shit, and he comes back on stream and he tells y'all about it as he Googles the shit on stream.
And the best, and I guess like the best comparison I would say is this: a journalist to another profession, like a scientist. And the way fucking Zoe broke it down for like pretty much, I don't watch sports all like that, but the way fucking he broke it down by about sports analysts or journalists, right? You have stats. So they're the scientists that see these stats. They can still give an opinion like, this may change or this may change. But if something is an actual factual thing, they're going to say it regardless, no matter what. Akademiks is something like TMZ or the news. Those are reporters. They're just going to report what they see with no research involved.
Who else outside of Akademiks, even who else as far as hip hop journalism, Elliot Wilson, or who else even posts first week numbers? Who else posts the numbers and talks about numbers? Who else does that?
You realize just because of him.
A lot of people don't care about numbers.
I'll answer that too.
Bro, we're talking about stats.
That was pertaining to sport. We talking about music.
But they're stats and music.
So with some people don't care about that particular part of the music. Some people care about the composition.
We can't say that.
They talk about
that's all they care about nowadays. That's all they care about nowadays. You can't say that.
Akademiks is the only person that gives a fuck about numbers, right? I'm not going to sit here and say Joe don't like point out numbers, but you can tell he does not care. I don't care if a rapper sells 10K, 128K in a week. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, bro. Most average listeners do not care.
Wait, I'm the truth, you ain't never lied. Top down, all crews like vanilla sky. All this hate against the kid, it should be televised. Afraid of heights, not me, I'm forever fly. Yup, I'm back, but I never left. You niggas left ain't coming back, son, that's kinda death. Matter of fact, I made it better, y'all was wasting breath. I hold it down while you're gone, won't even know you're left.